If this video finds you, perhaps you are meant to take part of the discussion. There's no hashtags on this video. Where do I begin? I could begin 1,000 different ways, but the basic point that I want to make is that despite what's going on and the vast amount of information, the moral compass starts within yourself. That should be your basis. The debate is endless, and the things that are taken away from our growth are the things that we participate in. Not everyone's going to agree. Some people's roles are different than others. And the word role, for some reasons, triggers some people. Because they will tell you, but it's part of the path, it's part of the journey. It's not a role, it's a learning experience, but it is the role that you choose because it is the journey that leads you to take on the script that you are playing out. It's a role. And some roles are easier to understand than others. But the moral compass is what we read because we understand that there's a diversity. And we could keep saying that nothing is as it seems, and the powers to be rule in many different categories, but nonetheless, you're still being ruled and you still are being deceived. That goes for all of us. What do you want? What do you want from yourself? How do you want to lead your own self? Can you sit down in your own womb, so to speak, right? And understand a birthing process sometimes leads to individuals that enter this world and have a tough time. It's hard to say we're enslaved because everybody wants to think they're free, but we're not even free in our mind if we can't think for ourselves or push the bar. We're too redundant in our own misery. And I know people don't want to hear that. I didn't want to hear that many, many moons ago because we are figuring it out. But I have learned many things. And one of the things that I've discovered along the way is that we are responsible for our behavior. And learned behavior is very hard to change sometimes because it's generational. But guys, when are we going to stand up? We are still entranced by the narrative that's being played out. Don't you get it? Governments seek to destroy their subjects because that's how they keep you in line. And if it was a true republic of citizens throughout the world, we would have say in what happens, but intelligent input. And we will also participate in the betterment of humanity. Instead, we point the finger and we don't like to look at ourselves. And I'm not saying it's easy. So in my role, let's say, my role as I have walked on the journey, let's say it like that, is to raise these issues. And sometimes it takes a very, very, very strong mind to understand what they're up against, because not everybody likes the truth that allows us to look inside. You see, not my truth. It's the truth that allows us to look inside our own souls. And sometimes it's not pretty, but you can change, right? You can look, sometimes bad things happen to good people and they just become stuck. But nobody likes to talk the real because everybody is busy backstabbing and wanting to be God themselves, and they can't even lead in a way that lets them look at themselves with God, because you can't BS the true God. You could BS the organized religion, right? Because they lead you to believe that you'll do 5 Hail Marys or, you'll take a mitzvah and you'll be healed. But if you don't feel it in your soul, how could you ever be healed? We can do beautiful things. And those things have to come from us within. I'm tired, guys, of listening to the BS. So I'll raise the challenge because there's a difference between the pace that you learn at and the perceptions that you use to get out of your own BS. Ponder that one. It's not easy, but we attest because there's change, and there's a lot of fakeness out there, and there's a lot of people who say they raise consciousness and they don't, because they entertain in themselves, because they become cult-like in behavior. Get down deep. Sometimes it's messy, but it is very rewarding. Because just because I could be direct like that, and I can speak on many negative issues, but I'm not the one that gets sucked into it. And I realized that I had to be cautious of that because people do get sucked into that. I could speak it the way it is, discuss it, look for a solution, and then just go on and be very cool. But I've noticed that people get into a funk. So I would like to dive deeper into that topic, because if you become part of the social structure, you'll never become part of the real structure, and that's the structure of your soul. Think about that, guys, and ponder that within. Peace.